en Futuro, la radio del rock. Programa dinámico, se va moviendo de acuerdo a las cosas que van pasando. Y ya tenemos en el estudio, porque lo prometimos hace un rato, una visita ilustre. Ilustre porque va a estar mañana presentándose en su cuarta vez acá en Santiago de Chile. Estoy hablando de Meshuggah, una de las grandes bandas del metal extremo en el mundo. Y con nosotros Tomás Jaque.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good, yeah.
Welcome to Radio Futuro, welcome to Chile, and welcome again to our country.
Oh, muchas gracias.
Está con nosotros Jorge Lagas, también un conocedor también del mundo del metal, para sumarse a esta conversación. I think it's all ready for tomorrow to be with the fans, the passionate Chilean bands. Chilean fans.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we noticed that the first time that we came around here in 2013 and played the same venue, Capulacan, back then too. And I think we were actually a little overwhelmed at the response that we had and the support that we had from fans here. We knew it was probably going to be good, but we didn't know it was going to be that good. So we're very, very happy to be back here.
Recordando esas primeras actuaciones y sorprendidos y casi como emocionados del impacto que tuvieron esas presentaciones. Les habían contado esto de Chile, pero dijo, de verdad que no lo esperábamos. Así que, bueno, recuerdo esas presentaciones del Caupolicán y que esperan que se va a repetir ahora en el Teatro Coliseo, ¿no, Jorge?
Sí, claro, desde el 2013 fue cuando empezaron a venir, y aquí estamos nuevamente 2024 con nuevo material. Meshuggah, you got your last album, Immutable. Are you satisfied with the results?
Yeah, I mean, definitely as far as the material on the album, maybe the production could have been a little clearer, but that was also something that we kind of wanted to make a little different this time around. Maybe we went a little far to the other side, but we're very happy with the material on it, and at the end of the day, that's the most crucial thing, you know.
Bien, contentos ahí con el nuevo material, el último disco Immutable del año pasado. Dice que responde un poco a lo que querían hacer, a lo que querían plasmar en este disco, el tipo de sonido, aunque dice que bueno, lo hubiera mejorado un poquito, lo hubiera hecho un poquito más limpio, siempre quedan esas cosas, pero no, contentos con lo que ha sido Immutable. La respuesta, por supuesto, del público es lo que van a estar presentando acá en Santiago junto con los clásicos también.
How do you describe the evolution of the band since the very beginnings in the 90s, in the early 90s, from now, almost 30 years? How do you describe the evolution of the band and the audience too? Because everybody's growing up.
Yeah.
Todo va creciendo.
Yeah, no, actually, I have to correct you there, and it's a scary correction too, because it's almost 40 years
40s.
At this point. Yeah, in 27, the band will actually be 40 years old. It started in 87, so yeah. But yeah, the evolution of the band, I would say, I mean, anyone that's followed us from the get-go noticed obviously the kind of the Metallica, Anthrax, the kind of Bay Area thrash kind of influences in the first release. There was still kind of very audible influences from those bands that we grew up in, that was very important to us in our formative years, you know. But I think over the years and with each album, we definitely kind of took a serious sidestep to kind of just create our own path and kind of create our own sound. And I think we all in the band at this point feel very much that we've definitely become kind of our own unit that do our own thing, that sounds different from most other bands, and any kind of outside influence into our band is hopefully not there anymore, you know.
Bueno, dice que son todos muy influenciados por ese sonido de la Bay Area que apareció en los años 80 y que caló muy hondo ahí en Europa, y de ahí fueron construyendo un sonido que afortunadamente año tras año y disco tras disco obviamente ha ido tomando su sonido, y que tampoco se han ido imitando, ¿no? O sea, no hay una, sino que hay una evolución constante en este camino que dice como comienzo más de 40 años ya, son que casi que la aterra recordar eso, pero es verdad, son 40 años, pero de una banda que sigue sonando muy, muy bien y que parece inmutable, ¿no?
Sí, justamente, claro, eso eran los orígenes de los 80, después ya fue una locura, dejaron correr la imaginación y fueron siempre más allá de los límites. A ver cuál es la idea que tiene nuestro amigo al respecto. Meshuggah always were a band that went beyond the limits. You know, what's your idea about the limits? There are limits, or are just an imagination?
I see what you mean. There is limits for sure for us too, because even though I don't think we really feel that we're trapped, you know, in what we can do and what Meshuggah is supposed to sound like, but I think we do set up some kind of boundaries for ourselves, and we definitely have a framework that we want to stay within. You know, we don't want to do something so crazy it kind of takes it away from metal or takes it too far sideways into something that is just weird, you know, and not really true to what we set out to be, and that was always to be a metal band. So we do have some framework and some limitations, but at the end of the day, when we sit down and start writing music, I don't think we feel those limitations at all, because we're all kind of striving towards the same thing, and in the sense of what we want the band to sound like, and where we perceive us heading, you know, with any new release or any new songs that we write, you know.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Oh, coffee.
Café, llegó el café, llegó el café. Está bien. Oye, sobre los límites, nos dice. Está bueno.
Muy bien.
Está bueno el café.
Viene con malicia, un poquito de pisco.
Oye, lo que nos contaba un poco acerca de los límites, dice que un poco como que sí, como que no. Como que, claro, a la hora de establecer sus propios estándares, ahí no tuvieron límites, persiguieron nomás su imaginación, pero que a fin de cuentas igual hay ciertos límites que ellos mismos se fijaron, ¿cierto? Dicen, nunca vamos a hacer algo que deje de ser metal, por ejemplo. Nosotros siempre vamos a ser una banda de metal, y eso ya pertenecer a un género, en cierto modo, es como poner límites. Pero claro, a la hora de la creatividad, de establecer nuevas formas de hacer música, ahí claro, la imaginación se dispara y ahí desaparecen los límites, digamos.
Conversamos con Tomás Jaque de Meshuggah, baterista, y you talk about the Metallica, no, as a name, as a reference, but when somebody read about the history of Metallica, they talk about the great impact they had in Europe and in countries like Sweden, on Denmark. And did you have the chance to see a Metallica in that time, Master Puppet or Ride a Lightning show live in that time?
I did not personally, but Morten, our guitar player, and I think Jens and Frederick might have seen them really early too. But I remember when me and Morten, this was way before Meshuggah, obviously, when we were only like 14, 15 years old. He went down to Stockholm and saw them for I think Ride the Lightning or for Master Puppets tour. Master Puppets actually was the same, and the night later that same night was when Cliff Burton passed, unfortunately. Yeah, so
it was. I was asking that because as a drummer, what is your opinion about Lars Ulrich as a drummer? Very criticized sometimes, but I think it's a great drummer. One of the most important.
I mean, for me, he was extremely important at that time. I mean, we're talking formative years now. When Master Puppets came out, I was like 14, 15 years old. So that was the biggest album, and probably still to this day is the biggest album that has had the biggest impact on me, not only as far as the music goes, but also the drumming. You know, for what it was at that point in time. He's not that drummer anymore, but I am also not the same drummer I was when I was 25, and we do all get older, so you know, I don't know what to say. He's not the same drummer he was anymore, but you have to give him credit, because Metallica would never have been the band that they are and continue to be without him having been there for all the years. So extremely influential drummer. He influenced for sure, if not probably not just one generation, but at least a couple generations of drummers in metal. So I tip the hat to the man, no doubt.
Bueno, le preguntaba por el impacto que Metallica, siempre uno leyó que tenían en Suecia o en Copenhague o en Dinamarca, y si lo había visto en vivo en esa época, no, pero el guitarrista dice, y otros músicos sí pudieron verlo, amigos de ellos, en ese tiempo, y obviamente destaca la influencia que ejerció ese disco Master of Puppets y la batería de Lars como una de las cosas que impactaron fuertemente en él y en muchas generaciones. Obviamente no son lo mismo, todos, nadie es lo mismo 20, 30 años después, pero sí destaca esa fuerza y ese impacto que esos discos y ese baterista produjo en ellos. Jorge.
Sí, oye, bueno, preguntémosle también por Paul Di'Anno. Estábamos hablando algo fuera de micrófono. Today we lost a metal hero, Paul Di'Anno from Iron Maiden. Well, we know that death is part of life, and it seems like death is part of the music scene too. We have seen many of our heroes passing away, so what are your feelings about it?
Yeah, it's a sad day for any hard rock and metal fan out there, for sure, today. I mean, I didn't listen that much to that early Iron Maiden. I kind of got in, at the Power Slave kind of time, but that I still have plenty of friends that played all the early stuff, so I listened to that a lot, and I always thought he was initially I thought I like kind of his voice better than I did Bruce Dickinson's, but then, obviously the choice was probably right for the band, and they ended up being the biggest hard rock band on the planet. So but regardless, it's sad, and he definitely passed too early. I learned today he was probably only 66, right?
Yeah.
That's not cool, man. That's too early, and it's a sad day for sure.
Claro, noticia triste para todos, aunque dice que en lo personal él agarró a Iron Maiden más en la época de Power Slave, que no está tan cercano a esos primeros años, pero de todos modos un gran aprecio. Dice que por ahí incluso la voz de Paul Diano le puede llegar a gustar más que la de Bruce Dickinson, pero claro, una nueva muerte que se suma a varias que han sido. En el caso de los bateristas también hay varios que se nos han ido. We were talking about drummers, and we have seen passing away to many great drummers: Neil Peart, Sean Reinert, Charlie Watts from the Rolling Stones, Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters. So like hard years to be a drummer.
Yeah, for sure. And Sean Reinert, that hit me really hard. He was a good friend of mine, and also very influential for me with the first Cynic album, Focus. It came out in 92 or 93 or something, and that was like the one album that was constantly playing for like 2 years in my stereo at that time. So his drumming also had an influence on me as a drummer in the early years of Meshuggah. So that was a hard blow for sure. And Neil Peart was my house god from when I was like 11 years old, and I still listen to Rush frequently. In the car I have a ton of Rush albums. So that was sad too. I mean, he was older. Obviously, it wasn't as sudden and as terrible as Sean Reinert, but then again, one of the absolute greatest and most influential musicians on this planet. Mm-hmm. So it's sad.
Sí, claro, hablando un poco de los fallecimientos de grandes músicos, hablamos de los bateristas. Decía el que más le pegó es Sean Reinert, ex baterista de Cynic, de Death, muy influyente en la escena del metal extremo, del lado más progresivo, y por supuesto Neil Peart, un maestro que, bueno, muchos aprendieron de él. Así que cosas que pasan, hay que irlas asimilando.
Sí, Thomas, what is your opinion about the thing that happened in these Olympic Games with the Gojira performance? Was a great impact for the metal world. How do you see that impact? Is it important? Is a good signals for the industry? And that kind of ceremony, you're never gonna see a metal band playing live. No, it was weird, but I think it's good.
It was different for sure to see it in the context of the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
We've never really seen that before, but I love it. And we know the guys very well. We love them as a band. We love them as people. And that's the greatest exposure any band can have on the planet, actually. So I texted them right away, like, "Congrats, guys, because this is amazing." I think it normalizes a little bit what metal is and what metal can be. So I think it was a pretty brave step from the French Olympic Committee there to kind of put those guys on for that. So I was stoked to see it. We all love metal, so whenever it gets thrown into the normal people's faces, we have a good old time, and we chuckle a little bit and we go, that's good.
Está clara su impresión, ¿no? Primero que felicitó y se texteó con la gente de Gojira, que son amigos, y obviamente fue un agrado ver eso, ¿no? Y también como rescatar al comité organizador de atreverse a dar este impulso, obviamente es algo importante que disfrutaron todos y es una muy buena señal para el metal. Jorge, por último, algo para el cierre. Meshuggah es mañana, tomorrow gonna play, sí, claro, en el Teatro Coliseo.
Caupolicán.
Bueno, unas cuadras más allá por San Diego, igual van a llegar. Un poco que podemos esperar para el show. What can we expect to see on stage tomorrow?
Us. Yeah. And that's, I mean, I don't want to jinx stuff, so I'm not going to say too much. It's going to be, It should be good. I mean, we have the support of our Chilean fans, and hopefully we don't have technical issues or anything like that. But we're looking forward to a great show, and I'm sure that's what's going to be.
Songs from the different eras of the band?
Yeah, it's a kind of a good mix. We don't really play very early stuff.
Okay.
It just kind of doesn't fit the bill anymore for us. It's almost a music that we kind of forgot how to play because we're never really tried. You know, anything from Contradictions, Collapse is also weird. And nowadays we play to a click track, a linear click track, and back then we let the songs just flow and go in different tempos, whatever the body told you to when we were recording them. So we've tried, but it's very weird for us to try to play those songs to a linear tempo. And they kind of tend to sound a little wrong too. So not that early stuff, but otherwise we play a good mix. We play a song from the Nun EP, and we have some stuff from Destroyers Improve and Nothing, you know, Obscene, you name it. Yeah, so it should be a good mix.
Great. ¿Qué esperar para mañana? A nosotros, lo primero que nos dijo, por supuesto, la presencia de ellos, evidentemente, pero no, esperan, por supuesto, darlo todo. Siempre dice que con la energía del público chileno se dan grandes momentos, así que no va a ser la excepción. Van a tocar cosas de más o menos todas las épocas del grupo, no tanto de las más antiguas, así como del primer disco, porque dice que como que ya ha cambiado mucho y no quedarían muy bien contextualizadas, pero de Destroy, Erase, Improve para adelante, digamos, mediados de los 90 para adelante, hay una buena mezcla, así que vayan nomás con confianza, darlo todo.
Mañana en el Teatro Caupolicán Meshuggah en nuestro país. Thomas, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you
your
for
time
having me. Thank you so much.
and your answer, very good.
I hope so, because I'm not doing it again.
Meshuggah, Bleed en Futuro, la radio del rock.